Welcome back to another episode of the Adventure Athletes podcast. In this week's podcast, I sit down with Harry Squires, a good friend of mine who I met running from Chelmsford to Cardiff, which is quite a long way. He did 6 ultramarathons over 6 days, which is very similar to the challenge that I'm doing. His is point to point, mine's different courses. But the amazing thing is we've been brought together by the same charity, Sport in Mind. So here's a quick video from Sport in Mind.
Sport has the power to change lives. Sport is more than exercise. It's motivation. It's purpose. It's possibility. A reminder, you are not alone. We are Sport in Mind. We understand what it's like to feel disconnected. That's why we create spaces to support mental health. We meet people where they are and use sport to help them find their way back. Every step, every pass, every moment shared builds something stronger. A community. Friendship. A force for good. We are made to move, to feel, to breathe, to connect. Sport drives us, but it's people who inspire us. Every day, every week, they get back up. They keep showing up. They never give in. The strength that lives in all of us. So join us. Stand with us. Because when it comes to mental health, sport is the answer.
Now, in this episode, we just talk about Harry's challenge, how he got into running, why running in the first place, why not cycling, and why the challenge. How did he get to it? How did he train for it? What was the build-up like? And you'll be surprised at how ordinary Harry is. I keep telling everyone that it's these ordinary people that are doing extraordinary things. Yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal, but he is just your everyday guy. So if he can do it, as he says, anyone can do it. So let's get into the podcast. But first, let's have a quick message from our sponsors over at Soulmate.
We're Soulmate. Whether you're new to running or an experienced runner, we've got you covered for both road and trail, from shoes to nutrition to running poles and everything in between. Use code ADVENTURE10 both in-store or online for 10% off your order.
And now, enjoy the podcast. So what would you say your call to adventure was?
I think for me it's always sort of been there. I think it's quite a boring answer, but I think my family's always been quite adventurous, whether it's been with like activities or just like the way of life. So I think it's always sort of been there. So I can't really pinpoint a moment where I've sort of got it from.
Yeah.
I think just from like people who've been around me, I've sort of got it from there.
Okay. I was going to say, like, I met your mum when I came out and supported your challenge, and then she was going on about all of her cycling things, and I was like, bloody hell, like, yeah, this is where he gets it from.
Sometimes I don't know I can really compete with that. I've never really some of the stuff she's doing, yeah, it's hats off. I mean, I can do it. I haven't ridden a bike in about 5 years. I don't know where I'd start with that. But yeah, it's sort of, that's where like eventually leads back to as well, really. Just sort of a lot's come from her as well, so.
Should probably get her on the podcast.
I know, yeah. Invite her next. Yeah.
That would be the first like parent like son combination I've had. So that'll
be quite an interesting dynamic, I reckon. Be quite interesting.
with the challenge you did, because you ran from Chelmsford to Cardiff, for those that don't know, like that's quite a way.
Yeah.
What would you say was like your call to adventure for that specific thing then? Like where did that come from?
I think for me, so back in September of last year, did a 100k over 2 days, which is a lot for me at the time. That's the most I've ever done by far. That was sort of, it's not a spur of the moment because it happened for 5 months before. I've been planning, but I think Cardiff wise, I think I wanted to go like a step further in some way, and it sort of lined up with the distances I was doing each day for 100k, but just doing it for more time. And I've always wanted to run to like a different country, and I thought, well, that would sort of line up the best way. So, sort of looked into it, and in logistic wise, it was quite easy with that, because you haven't got to cross many paths. I think as well, just stuff that's going on previously, personal stuff. I think it all sort of lined up at the right time, and sort of got trained, and there's just like no looking back really.
Yeah. Yes. It was an incredible challenge, to be fair, like running the width of England basically.
Yeah.
And some to get to Cardiff. How did you like plan and organise that and like break it down?
I think it was always going to be 6 days. I think when we looked at what the distance was going to be each day, I was going to do around 55, 60 to 60k each day. So it was always going to be about 6 days. But yeah, logistics wise, wasn't too challenging. I had luckily I had a guy, Paul, who's my mum's friend, who really helped out with routes. So I was going to use Google Maps and use the walking route. So that could have sprung a few challenges. So luckily he really helped with some actual proper routes. So that made it a lot easier for me logistic wise.
You say proper routes, but they were cycling routes. They weren't like running routes. Because I
True.
remember that last day, like there was bits where we're just running on a road.
Oh, true. Yeah, true. That is
Yeah.
true. I mean, day 5 was probably like in terms of the route wise was hardest because there's a lot just absolutely shattered and just A roads, just cars whizzing past, but you almost sort of like block it out.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I want to get it done. I want to get the day done.
Oh no, it is incredible. And you was all doing this for sport in mind as well, raising money. How did your fundraising go?
Really good. I think we raised 1,850 in the end. So like really, really happy at that because I've set like an initial goal of 1,000 and then just sort of kept raising it as I got past 1,000. But I'm really happy. So raised money for PSPA as well. So two charities which I was really happy to raise money for, and it made another motivation for me to go and do it really.
Yeah. Because like that's how I heard about you. Is like obviously I'm doing my challenge for sport in mind, so then like I've started following them and I saw your challenge and I was like, oh, like that's cool. Give him a follow.
Yeah.
And then I dropped you a message being like, oh, when are you coming to Cardiff? And you said a day, and I was like, cool, I'll be there.
Yeah, you only joined with 50k. Yeah, not far.
Yeah, no,
Not far.
nice easy day.
Yeah.
I was disappointed you didn't come and do the 50k with me the next day as
Oh
well.
no, I tell you, no, we had a good night that night. Had a few drinks, and then yeah, the next day my legs were just battered. Yeah, and it sort of took it into like perspective when we drove back from Cardiff back to Chelmsford. I was like, oh, okay, I don't know how I've really ran that. I was happy to be in the car though.
Yeah, I can imagine. So like this all sort of came from this idea of like running across the country. What got you into like that thought anyway? Like why running? Why not cycling? The length, like
I'll tell you what, because before the start of last year I'd never been properly into running. I used to prefer like short track distances like 100 metre, 200 metres. That was where I was better really. I've never been like a long distance runner at all. But I think just sort of sometimes I have thoughts, so I just go with it and I just do it. So I never really thought of cycling was never really in my head. I just sort of do that running wise. I'm just get it done. Choose that.
But like, how does it progress from like 100 meters, 200 meters to I'm gonna run the width of the country?
Honestly, I don't like. As a lot of people said that to me, like, I don't actually know how you've done that. And that's beforehand. I was like, maybe I've chosen something that's out of my depth. Maybe I can't do this. But I knew the train I'd done. Like, I could get it done. And yeah, I don't really know how to progress. Like, I think things just like in my head, things just happen. Just go with it. And it just happens.
Yeah. Were there any like sort of stepping stones that led you to that thought process? Like, did you start doing halves, ultras, and then progress to it, or do you just be like, no, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
so
straight to it?
we started in Jan 2024. We did a half marathon off the back of like 2 weeks training. So I just saw it advertised. Wasn't far from my house, and just had loads of things going on again. Which I'm sure we'll touch on. But so started with that, and I was like, oh, okay, I can try and do a half marathon each month. Maybe that'd be great. Keep up the fitness. Did another one in Feb, and then didn't do one in March. Stopped really running in March of last year, and then saw the 100k advertising. Saw that advertised in April for September. I was like, okay, I can do something good here, make it for charity, and then just trained like that mentally, trained a mental amount of running for from April to like August, and then ran it in September, and I found it really really hard. I won't lie, but after that, you get the runner's bug. I sort of had it, and I was like, I just want to keep going again, go a step further.
Yeah. And yeah, you really did step it up because you went from 100k to how far was the
Ended
one?
up being 350k or 218 miles if people don't do kilometers.
So you've like over tripled the distance that you'd done.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I still haven't really like thought about it. It's like I got it done and just moved on. Had work 3 days after. And just started work again.
Yeah. This is what like I find fascinating about like people like you that do these challenges because you are just like a normal person. You are going to work.
Yeah,
You've got
yeah.
like a home life. Like you've got all these things going on. There's like nothing like special
No,
about
yeah,
you.
no, complete. I'm just a typical 20-year-old, really. Just like it's weird. I like going out on the weekend, but then if I want to, like, if I'm training for something, I can just switch on. Like, really, I find it really easy to switch in and out of different like characters. So I can just, if I want to train, I can just train, no problem. But if I want to go out, I can go out. So it's like, I think I've got that mindset, or if I can focus on something really, really well if I want to,
Yeah.
which really helped like the transition from going to like a big training block.
Yeah. And I think like you're very young to be getting into this.
Yeah,
Like most people don't get into like ultras and endurance until like later life. Like people still say like I'm quite young for it and I'm like turning 30 this year.
yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you're pretty young
Young
for
for doing other
this."
things. Yeah.
And then it's like I don't feel young to be doing it. And you're
Nah,
probably the same now. You're like, "Well, I've been doing it, so
that's what I mean. I saw some of even me yourself. It's like ultra athletes peak at like the 50 age. So I feel like, yeah, maybe I'm a bit too bit too young. Should be enjoying myself a bit more. Should be relaxing. But I think that's where it is for me now. Just ultra running. I just love it.
yeah."
I don't know. It just brings something different. It's just a different like sort of way, isn't it? It's like it's weird. I've never stopped. Like how insane a marathon is. I've never stopped at a marathon. I've always just
Kept
gone.
going.
Yeah. It's just weird to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love it. I just love it.
I'm the same. I still haven't done like an actual marathon
Yeah.
myself. I did one in training not that long ago, and I didn't even really think about it.
Yeah. Just
And then everyone's like, "What? You've just run a marathon for fun?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's just training. Like that's just my long training run."
yeah.
They're like, "That's a marathon." Well, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it is."
it's mental, isn't it? It's like
And just yeah, like skipping that, like going from half to ultra. Like, was your first ultra the 100k?
yeah. It was in so. The furthest I'd gone in that training block beforehand was a 30k, and I found that really hard. So doing like 2 50Ks in a row, I didn't really know what to expect. It's a bit like Cardiff. I didn't know what, like, so many things can go wrong, especially like with the 100K. It was in September, but the heat was ridiculous, especially on the Saturday, the first day. So anything could go wrong, injury, anything. But like, I think going to it not knowing what to expect is almost better.
Yeah.
Because then if you've got previous experience doing like a 50K where you know how much of a slog it is, it can put you off. But I think going with a fresh mind really helped.
I love that mindset of like, yeah, if you just don't know what you're getting into, then you just
yeah.
rock up and you
Try
have
and
to
get
do
through
it. See, sorry. I'm like, I used to do that, but now I'm at a point where it's like, where I've had those experiences, I'm like, okay, like I know what to expect. I know
Yeah.
it's gonna get hard, and I see where you're coming from. Of like, if you don't know how much it's gonna suck, then you just do it.
Yeah, you
Whereas
enjoy
like,
it till you can't.
yeah. Whereas now I'm like at the point where it's like, well, I know it's gonna suck at some point, so like, it almost makes me more willing to do it because I'm like, no, this is like why I've signed up, because it's gonna suck in a way.
Yeah.
Like I've got no expectations of like when I do my six, like I've got no expectations of coming out feeling good on any of the days. Like I know from day one it's gonna suck.
That's the thing, is it's like these things aren't meant to be easy. Like it's not, if it's easy, like then you're just like free core. It's just like you're not doing it properly. So yeah, these things are meant to be challenging and hard.
Yeah. And then if it's not hard enough, like go harder. There's always more.
There's always more. Yeah, that's what I've got now. It's like what, like, where can I go without taking like, it's like balancing what, like, time off work, and then where, if you want to go further, like what do I want to do? So it's like just finding what's right for you really to do next.
Yeah. There's this one guy that I'm thinking of as we're talking about that. His name's Dan. He's been on the podcast before. Shout out, Dan. He's gonna love that shout out. He is like so dedicated to ultras. Like, not in terms of like he doesn't care about winning. He just likes the experience of doing them. So the series that I'm doing in 6 days called the Pegasus Slam. Like they've got 6 ultra marathons over 6 months, but then they also have like, it's like a company under the same umbrella where they've got some 100 milers, they've got a 200 miler, they've partnered with a company in Canada to like be like a sister company that's also got a 200 miler.
Wow,
and he's doing all of them. So like last year he did the slam, I think he did the slam, the 100 miler and the 200 miler. This year he's doing the slam, both the 100 milers, the 200 miler, and going to Canada to do the 200 miler.
Fair play, Dan.
And it's just like,
Fair play.
but like he's a normal person as well. Like he's got a job, he's got kids, and it's like balancing it all is just like, yeah, it's incredible. Like,
oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
I feel so lucky because like this is my job.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, I want to take a week off to run 6 ultras. Cool, I can do that. Or like, oh, I want to do a long run in the morning this day. Okay, block out my calendar. That's my long run.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to show up to like a 9 to 5. So like I've got even more respect for like people like you, where it's like, yeah, like I've got a job that I'm going to, and like I like sit in an office or like do this, do that, and I'm like, my job is fitness. So like it's a lot easier for me to justify what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But for you, it's not.
I mean, yeah, especially, I think what I found, it's not even like getting the time off, it's like doing the training really around. So while I was working during the training program, I was doing 3 to 11 in the morning. So yeah, it's literally finish work at 11, especially in the winter, you're knackered, but get out and just run. As hard as it is, like, because what I said to myself was, if I don't go for this run, then I'm not going to do it. Like, even every training run, I'd be like, I have to do this, otherwise I won't get the challenge done. And that sort of pushed me to get out.
Yeah.
And then do it. But like, that's what I'm saying to myself. If you miss one run, you're not going to do it. So that just motivated me to go out basically every day and run.
How long did you like train for it?
So I started So the idea came about in like mid-October, and then we started doing training again mid-November last year, and then I properly started a training block Jan 1st. So I was like, oh, that would probably make the most sense. After Christmas, just one goal, one motivation, and we just did about 13 and a half weeks of training, 2 weeks tapering, and just straight into it. So I don't know if this, it's probably, yeah, I mean, overall about 20 weeks of training, which is pretty longer than like a normal like marathon or ultra marathon training block. It's just get as much running as I can, get as many miles in the legs as possible.
Yeah, it's just like the thing is, like it was such a jump from like 100k to
Yeah.
300 plus. Like you say like, oh yeah, like that's pretty long. Like that's not that long. Like
I know,
people
yeah.
spend like a year plus training for things like this. So to just be like, yeah, like I had like 20 weeks, but really I did like 12 solid weeks.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's weird because I don't know if it's my first, but I found the 100k. It might sound weird. I found the 100k harder, or just as hard as the Cardiff. I don't know if that's because the goal of just finishing in Cardiff, or I don't know. But I just found this one obviously so hard, but I just found it, not as hard as a 100k.
do you reckon it's to do with like the pace that you were going? Like, was like the 100k more of a race and like an event?
No, not even. I think just knowing when the hard bits were going to come this time as well. Obviously, as we spoke about doing the 100k, going with like little to no experience. So I think going in with this, knowing when the hard bits would probably come on each day.
Yeah.
I think just ticking off each day as well. Your day close to getting done. So once I'd done day 5, the penultimate day, I knew it was done. Like, cause I knew day 6, if I had to crawl across, is like I would have done it. So
Yeah.
I knew it was done.
Yeah, no, it's a really good challenge. I like the idea of these multi-day challenges because it's not just like the 100k where it's like you go out, you're done for the day, or like there was a lot of people that I know that have done like a 200-mile race recently, and although that's across like multiple days, it's like one event, like you pretty much like run throughout the whole thing, you barely get any sleep,
Yeah.
and then like you're done. Whereas I like this idea of like, right, so I've gone out, I've done this challenge today, I get to go home and sleep, but
It's
then I know
your
the
own
next
stuff.
day I have to get up again and go again. And
That's the hardest bit. I
Yeah.
think knowing it was on my own time as well. That's another thing that really helped. Knowing that it's sort of in my hands. I'm not racing against people, as you mentioned. So I think, yeah, but the hardest bit is just going and going again. Just waking up knowing like you'll say for example you finish day 3, you ran what, like 57k, and knowing like you wake up day 4 and that's like you can't really care about that now. That's like
yeah.
you can't really see it as an achievement because you've got to go and do it again. So it's just that mentality of going and going again really.
How did you sort of like deal with that and like process that in your head then?
I think it's a hard one. I think after day 1, before the challenge, I was like, just try and obviously you got to celebrate the little wins, but just after day 1, be like, okay, that's just 1 out of 6. Just like I've got to go 5 more times. I think each time just knowing, just literally just ticking days off, just knowing like, oh, I'm now a third of the way through, I'm a half of the way through, I'm like 2/3 of the way through. Just doing little things like that in my head did help. And I think just knowing each day that you are going to wake up with pain, like you just are. This is after the first few steps, you'll be alright. But it's just getting through that initial like 5-minute pain of each day at the start.
Yeah. You're really selling this to me. The fact
Yeah,
that I'm going to be
yeah.
doing it soon.
I know, yeah. I'm really people. Yeah, go and do it. Yeah.
No, I'm just fascinated by it because like I came out on your last day and I did like the last 50k with you, and when I saw you, you weren't running like you'd been running for 5 days straight.
Yeah.
You didn't look like you was in pain. You was like, yeah, it's a bit uncomfortable, but you was like really chatty, really upbeat. Like,
Yeah.
how do you keep that mentality throughout such a long challenge?
I think, especially as that was the last day as well, I think if you see me day 5, they wouldn't have been the same. I think just knowing the reasons why you're doing it as well. Just like you've done, I think doing all that training, and you think, oh, if you don't do it now, the last 4 months have been for nothing as well. I think just trying to prove people wrong as well. There's no real examples for me, because everyone's been so supportive. But just trying to, I know there's probably people that thought I wouldn't do it. So just trying to show people that I can talk, walk the walk as well as talk the talk. So
Yeah.
I think that's another thing for me. Just trying to prove people wrong.
No, it was awesome, seeing it, and yeah, like I said, you weren't running like you was in pain or broken or anything. To get through that and look so good at the end, yeah, that was incredible to watch.
Day 6 felt like it went really quickly as well. I think.
I mean, we was talking about it on the run actually, because it was you hit your fastest kilometre
Yeah.
on that last run.
Yeah.
You did the day the fastest pretty much.
Yeah.
You was just yeah, that was your fastest day for sure.
Oh yeah. I think as well, because I started an hour early. I started at 7. On the Saturday, the last day. So I think finishing at 2:30, 3ish. Yeah, felt really early compared to the other days.
Yeah. And then you had a nice night out afterwards. I saw on your Instagram.
Yeah. Cardiff was all right. Funny enough, I thought I was gonna have one drink and just pass out and just go to sleep, but no, I had a few. No sore head in the morning either, so I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And then just loved it. I think the whole thing of everyone being there at the end as well. That was another motivation for me to get to the end, just seeing everyone there, and just because they've all supported me the whole way through as well. So yeah, just amazing.
You did have a wicked support crew.
Oh yeah,
I saw glimpses of it. I didn't see all of them, but your friends came out round with you sections. Was it your cousin, your 16-year-old cousin?
Yeah, literally. So he was always going to do day 4 with me because that's closest to where he lives. So yeah, shout out to Aston. He's like, oh, I want to do the whole day with you. And inside you're thinking, okay. Mate, because I think he did a maximum of 10k before, and then just smashed it out at 45k. On a hot day, it was a hot day 4 as well. It was from Newbury to Devizes. Oh, I probably butchered that. But he absolutely smashed it. I was so proud. Just smashed it.
Yeah, again, pretty young to be just busting out your first ultra.
And now he's got loads of ideas. With all he wants me to get involved as well now. So it's I feel like I should help out really with what he did for me.
Yeah. It's awesome. And just seeing how they were driving to points to check in on you. You had your cousins with you. Was it your auntie as well, I'm guessing?
Yeah, so she was amazing as well. So she joined literally, so I saw her at near the end of day 3, and then day 4 she came day 5 and day 6. So just lift spirits, isn't it? It's just seeing a fresh face, just get going. It helps you get going again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, she was absolutely brilliant, and she helped. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think she helped holding the finish line at the end as well. So it's a big part of it.
Yeah, and then you had Chris as well with you, who was making a documentary.
Yeah.
So
he's been brilliant. He was brilliant the whole way through the training program, getting all the footage, and then I think the doc we released. So the long run on YouTube. So that we put that out about 3 weeks ago now. But I feel like it's a good insight into what went on behind the scenes. So behind all the Strava runs and all the posts, what actually goes on a big day of the run.
Yeah. No, it was. I loved that documentary. If you haven't watched it, guys, I'm gonna link it in the description. So
thank you.
Definitely go check it out. I loved it. Obviously, my favourite part was day 6. But...
That's probably my favourite part too. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a wicked documentary, and he ran quite a lot with you at the start, didn't he?
He did. He did. He did the first 3 full days. I think he pulled out halfway through day 4. I think he probably didn't had enough time to do as much training as I did. So I think he probably felt he probably felt that, I think, towards the end of day 4. So I think he probably made the right. And I think he was happy with it as well because he had more time to focus on the film as well. So I think it was
Yeah.
sort of there's a pro and con from there really.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's massive shift anyway, like 150k plus,
Yeah.
carrying a camera, like recording you, focusing on making a documentary while also running that distance with you, like,
Oh yeah,
it's a
yeah.
wicked
I can't.
shift.
I think hopefully he can help with a few things as well in the future. Well, what I do want to release, put some more videos out, but yeah, just finding what's coming next. What to say?
Do you have anything planned next?
Yes, we've got. I want to do something where I actually break a record for something, break a time record. So I'm planning to run a length of a country, but yeah, until the country's fully, until we've got everything booked with the route and logistics and everything like that, or until because I don't want to jinx anything. So yeah, when that's confirmed, I'm sure I'll tell everyone what it is. But yeah, I want to break a time record. That's the next plan.
Wicked. Do you have like a sort of like idea on when in the year? Like, is it this year? Is it next year? Like,
Hopefully, early October.
okay,
That's the plan. So not actually that long. Only about 4 months away. So not actually that long away. So, but I feel like that's a realistic time frame for what I'm wanting to achieve as well. So
yeah,
that's the plan. Hopefully this year.
that'll be wicked. That will be awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to follow along for that. We'll go back to training a bit. Like, how did you break up that 12-week block? Like, what did your training look like in the build up to this?
I think for me, like, because I've never been, it might sound silly, but I don't know a lot about strength and conditioning. If I'm being honest, like, I'll go to the gym. Like, I will work on strength, like S&C, but I've never really had a massive routine for that. For me, it's just about getting as many miles and kilometers into legs as I could. So I was trying to run an average anywhere from 80 to 100 kilometers a week, which is about 100 kilometers, about what, 62 miles. I was trying to do that each week, just literally just get the legs used to being uncomfortable, really. I think I'll never really know if that it worked for me, but I'll never really know if I could have done a better training routine or if I could have done anything worse or less than that, how that would have impacted. But the training, it really worked for me, especially the times I was working and stuff. I just got into a lovely routine of doing what I was doing.
Yeah. And was you like running most days then?
Yeah, so I typically run about 5 days a week. So I'd be doing, I'd run I'd do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So I was trying to run just those days each week. I think I stuck to the whole training plan. I might have put a few extra runs in there on some Thursdays and some Saturdays, but that was sort of the base. That's base how it looked like, really.
Yeah. Like, did you have a way that you split those runs up? Was you like, I'm going to do like a bit of a tempo session, or was you just like, I'm going to do like a set distance each day? Did that change at all?
No, I always had. It was always just no tempo. It was always just trying to keep a consistent pace throughout the training block. And as I got closer to Cardiff, doing the actual challenge, I was almost trying to find what would be right for the pace for the challenge. So I found that towards the end of the training block. But it was always trying to keep a consistent pace. And I'd always, I mean, a typical run would probably about 20k. It's hard to tell because it'd probably up and go down at certain points in the block. So the average probably like differ loads, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, it sounds like fairly sensible way of breaking it down. Obviously, like, coach mode goes on for me, and I'm like, oh, like I would do like different days and split distances and stuff, but like, yeah, for a challenge like that, it is like the most important thing is, like you're saying, like time on feet, just getting out there, getting as many miles in as you can.
Oh, 100%. I think, like you said, like I said previously, just trying to get the legs used to what's coming up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I think I've probably been found out. So yeah, I think as well, like, it's one of them sports, like, what you put into it is what you'll get out. Like, if you don't put in enough training, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Like,
yeah,
you just wouldn't have been able to do it. It's just being honest with yourself, really.
Yeah, and the thing with these things is, it's okay turning up, doing an ultra, but then when you've got to do an ultra the next day, and the next day. Like, you have to know how to run on tired legs.
Yeah.
Like, it's so important. So, like, the fact you did so many, like, back-to-back days, like, I think that's helped you loads.
Like, it's doing that, it's one of them things, it's hard to, like, some people may disagree, but it's one of the things I don't think you can really train for, in terms of doing back to back to back. Like, I think it's more maybe after day 3, obviously you've got to have a bit of endurance, but you've got to have endurance ability, but I think it's more just a mental game after that.
Yeah.
So I think just developing, like, a mental, like, strongness is where it probably plays its part after day 4.
Yeah. Did you do anything to, like, prepare mentally for this? Like, was there any practices that you do? Anything that's, like, helped you over the years?
I think for me it was just all through training, just saying to myself, I'm gonna run this today, run that tomorrow, and then just sticking to it, and then just knowing that, like, each night I was probably getting about 5 hours. I probably average about 5 hours sleep because the hours I work. So I think just doing that and then getting out and running is, for me, was to show myself, okay, I have got this mental toughness. I can do this. I can do that. And I think, and then coming through things in the past as well. I feel like I've dealt with it, like, strongly. I'm quite like I don't take much seriously, so I feel like that really helped as well. Just, like, taking everything as a bit of a laugh. Sort of, it sounds weird, but sort of helped me as well.
Yeah. I've really been noticing, because, like, I'm getting quite deep into the ultra running world now. I've really noticed there's, like, 2 types of people with this sort of stuff. You've got the people like you where it's just, like, a laugh, like,
Yeah.
you're just out there enjoying it. Like, when, like, pain comes, you just sort of, like, laugh it off, and it's like, oh, fuck it now, like, hurting again. And then there's, like, people more like me where they get into, like, a dark place, and I always compare it to, like, Courtney Dauwalter, who's, like, just this really happy, bubbly ultra runner. You'd never think, like, anything of her. She's just running along, eating, like, nachos and burgers and winning races. And then you've got, like, the David Goggins, where it's, like, shouting at yourself, like, calling yourself a little bitch.
I'm a bit like Courtney in that way. Well, without winning the races, but yeah, I've never, like, I'll eat whatever as well, really.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been able to stick to, like, a good diet. So yeah, I'm just quite. You wouldn't look at me and think he's an ultra runner.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. So I think that's what I'm quite happy with as well. Like, I'm just like a normal. Like, you wouldn't think nothing of me, really.
This is the thing that I love about ultra running, though, is, like, you get the most unassuming people taking part and, like, even winning and, like, doing all these massive events. Like, you never look at an ultra runner and be like, oh yeah, they're an obvious ultra runner.
Yeah.
Like, you start talking to ultra runners and you're just like a normal person. Whereas, like, people look at me because, like I said, fitness is my life, and they'll be like, yeah, like, he runs ultras.
Must
like,
have something, yeah.
He does train, like, a lot, and, like, you can just see it, like, looking at me. Whereas, like, I look at other ultra runners and I'm like, well, like, most ultra runners don't even, like, do any gym work. They're like, oh yeah, I can't be bothered, don't like it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And then, like, you look at what they eat and they're just eating whatever, like, they're not, like, your typical athlete, and I love that.
Like, for example, the great, like, Weatherspoon's pizza last night. Like, yeah, I just can't, like, I don't know, like during training, I was eating, like, okay. I don't go out and eat, like, really unhealthy things, like, all the time, but I think just knowing myself, I can't stick to that. So if I said to myself, oh, I'm gonna have to eat healthy the whole week, I know I can't do that. So then it'd be like, okay, I feel bad now that I didn't do that. So it's just like knowing yourself as well, knowing what you can actually do. I think is really important.
Yeah. Bringing up food then.
Yeah.
I already know the answer, but, like, what was your food like throughout the challenge?
So a lot of it, as you'll see in the doc, is Pringles. So I actually forgot how many Pringles I was eating, really. But yeah, I can't remember eating that much. But, like, during the days, I feel like I wasn't eating a whole lot. Or maybe I was. But, like, in the evenings, it was literally just getting into me. It's probably wrong. There's probably science people out there say wrong.
You say that, but, like, you're the one that's out there doing it, and it worked for you.
Like, in the evenings, like for example, like on I think day 3, so like massive McDonald's. Like in day 5, I had a massive Burger King meal. I was literally just trying to get because I didn't feel that hungry, so whatever food I could get into, because I was burning about 5,000 calories a day. So I guess even if it's unhealthy calories, I was just getting them into me. So I was just I was literally just eating whatever I could actually physically eat, I was eating.
Yeah, because like I remember when I was running with you, and like you said, you really didn't eat that much. Like
No.
we stopped off at the car a couple of times, and you'd have some Pringles.
Yeah, yeah.
That was like
The
100%.
go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'd have like some sweets with that, maybe a Lucasade, but like I was just like, he's really not eating a lot. Like
No, I remember drinking a lot of like you said, drinking a lot of fluids. That was like, I was drinking a lot during the day, which is good. But yeah, eating wise, I don't remember eating a lot at all.
no, I can't remember you
we
eating a lot.
Brought like loads of food for the week, and like I just gave it all to my younger brother. Really, he was just cracking through it. So like, yeah, I don't actually remember eating much during the day.
Yeah, and I was like 6 days in, like I thought you'd be starving constantly, but he was just like, no, just some Pringles, some sweets.
And that's what's weird about ultramarathon. Like, sometimes if you to be a good like ultra runner, you have to know it's like a skill to eat while you're running, isn't it? Like, and like I just didn't have that. Like I'd be literally just burn the 5,000 calories on practically like an empty stomach.
Yeah.
So I'd have to try and eat what I could once finishing. So yeah, I think that's something I'd probably like to improve. I think I could improve on in the future. I think that's where I could perhaps gain more energy in certain like times of the run if I was actually eating properly, eating something.
Yeah. This is what I've been practicing a lot in my build up to my 6.
Yeah.
And like I go to a running club every Wednesday, and I always have snacks with me.
Yeah.
And like I'll be running, like we only do like 10, 12k, all trail and stuff, and every time we stop, someone makes a comment being like, oh, Will's eating again.
Yeah.
Like no one else eats at all during these things, and I'm there like I'll pull out like a pack of biscuits and I'll just start having biscuits, or I'll pull out sweets, and like it's become a thing now where everyone's like, right, Will, what trail snacks have you got today?
I think it's like hard to explain to someone that hasn't maybe like ran a marathon or an ultra marathon, but like once you just, I think not just me, but you physically can't, like your stomach just shrinks, isn't it? You can't. It's so hard to actually eat.
Yeah, like you're saying, it's a skill.
Like during the run, you'll be like, I'm so hungry, but when it gets to it, you can't actually eat.
Yeah.
Like it's mental. Like.
Yeah, and the thing is, like your body will need the food and it'll be craving the food, but like you're saying, like you can't eat. Like before I trained to eat while I was running, like the first ultra I did, it was only a 50k, but I used to get really bad nerves before events, so I wouldn't eat pre-event because I'd feel sick. During the event, I didn't eat. I think I had like a few jelly babies, like 3 or 4 jelly babies.
Yeah.
En route, and then
They're a lot of people's go-to, aren't they, jelly babies?
Yeah. And then I was like, I can't stomach anymore. And then I finished. There's all this cake and stuff at the finish line, and I was like, I want it so bad.
Yeah.
My body's starving, but I just cannot.
You physically can't eat it. Yeah.
And I didn't. That was all I had that day. Was those like 3 or 4 jelly babies, like for the whole day, and running 50k as well. Like it's not good because your body needs it. But yeah, like you're saying, like if you haven't practiced it, you just can't do it.
No, completely. That's the thing. Like it's like as you said, it's literally a skill. Like, I don't know how some people can go and eat like a full meal after like a big like. I have to like at least take 2 hours, and I might have a bit of my appetite back, but yeah, it's just something I'd like to master. It's like a skill I'd like to actually have.
Yeah, it does take practice, but like I can like definitely say I'm at that point now. Like I'll get back and I'll be like, right, what, like where's my pizza?
Yeah, oh no, completely.
I went on a long run recently, and I got like a 14-inch calzone, like a side of chips, like a double burger, and like a whole garlic baguette thing, and like gone. Like I just smashed through that, and I had like milkshakes and sweets and ice cream afterwards, like I've definitely mastered
Yeah,
the skill of
you're doing
eating.
well. Yeah, you're in good stead.
But like I did notice like when I was doing these endurance events, because like one time I just like wanted to cycle 100 miles. Like I just had it in my head like I'm going to go cycle 100 miles. And I did, and I noticed that like the 90-mile mark, although my body felt okay, like because I was so hungry and I had no energy, like I just crashed. Like
Yeah,
I've not
completely,
actually
yeah.
crashed my bike, but like my energy just went
It's
boom.
dead. Yeah, it's dead.
And you
Yeah.
can't do anything about it then. Like once you hit that point, like you can't keep pushing no matter how much you want to. Like you
Yeah.
can like go, but it's like the pace is so slow, your body's just got nothing to give. So like it's definitely a skill to master if you want to do these things.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
yeah, get practice.
Yeah, I know, yeah, I know. That's what's next.
So like you've brought up like a bit of like your personal life. Like, do you think things that have happened in your personal life have helped you with these challenges, or do you think it's been a bit of a hindrance?
Nah, 100% helped, I think. Yeah, I think 100% helped. I think with, especially as my, as some grandparents, such a, like a big inspiration as well, for example, like, I think just trying to like, try and make them proud in a way, even if they're not here, just showing, it's given me like an extra level of motivation to go and do that as well. I think, yeah, it's just even like, because obviously my nan linked to the charity as well. That was like an extra level. Like you're not just running it for yourself, you're running for other people now.
Yeah,
And I think, especially as like, as well, all my friends are just so supportive. Even today, like my mates Charlie and Finn came down to me with Cardiff last night, and they dropped me off here this morning. I think just people like that just help so much. I think so. I'm quite lucky in my like my personal life situation. I think I'm quite lucky really with how it's all come together.
yeah. Do you want to go a bit more into like the whys behind like the charities and everything then?
Yeah, yeah. So PSPA. So I ran for them as well. The 100k. So that's progressive supranuclear palsy. That's what my nan passed of in 2022. It's such like a rare illness, and it was, if I wanted to run for a charity, it's sort of like it's aligned really well because I didn't know what charities to run for. With sport in mind, that they obviously help people who are get into sport who are struggling mentally. I feel like that's not somewhere where I've totally been myself, but like I know how much sport can help people, and I was like, oh, that's probably another charity I'd love to try and give back to, and show people that like if you do, by getting into sport, you can really clear your mind. I think you probably agree with that. So they're two charities, yeah, meant a lot to me, and I was so happy to raise money for.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, and you've raised like good amount of money there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I was really, really happy.
yeah,
Everyone donated. I was so appreciative of.
yeah, that's amazing. So other than like your nan passing
Yeah.
away and things like that, like was there anything else going on that sort of like impacted your training, or like
Um,
you
no.
just sort of like crack on?
So all started running like so. I was in like a long term relationship which broke down in 2023. Like it was 4.5 years long. So that was a bit of a shock to the system. So that's where I was sort of like, do I have like sink or swim? And that's where I sort of just decided to do things for myself. And that's where the first half marathon came from, for example. Because I've tried to see these things as like a positive. And I feel like that's what's helped me through training as well.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like those things can go like one of two ways, like you're saying,
Oh,
like
100%, yeah.
you can either dig yourself into a hole, or you can be like, right, well, this is what's happened, like this is how I'm going to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I think that really lends itself to like your ultras and stuff as well, because like you're going to have those times in your ultras where it's like, well, this is shit, like what can I do about it?
Yeah.
You can either dig yourself into that hole and like get to the point where you quit, or it's like, well, I'm here now, like I might as well finish.
That's the thing. It's like if you try and relate it to your own, if you relate it to like personal things away from running, it's like yeah, then, as you said, nothing, not everything's easy. Like nothing's easy. Like you're not gonna get through it without a challenge. So, I'm just thinking like being a bit tired during a run. I've been through worse than that. Like I can get through it. You just got to try and it's just tunnel. You just got to try and tunnel vision, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
I know it's easier said than done, but that's what I've just got a skill of managing to be able to do that.
Yeah. Do you think that, like, the fact that you've gone through these hard things is why you've ended up doing, like, these ultra events?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say if I hadn't been through all these, I think I'd be like still just being like not doing it. I think it's quite I was in probably like too much of a comfortable position before everything happened. And I feel like even now, like I'm obviously really happy with everything away from the running, but I feel like yeah, as you said, I wouldn't have probably done this or done these things if I wasn't pushed out to where I've been. So like coming out of my comfort zone and doing this, I'm really proud of what I've done so far. I think.
Yeah. And do you think, like, because I always try and understand, because I don't even understand it for myself, like, I try and think, does ultra running and the hardships I face there help me with the hardships in my life, or do the hardships in my life make me better at ultra running? Like, and trying to figure out that dynamic.
I think it can be both. I think like I'm trying to think of examples, but I think when I was doing the ultras in April for the obviously the 6 days for the Cardiff one, I think just knowing the hardships been through in my personal life before, I've compared to people I haven't been through near enough other people have been through, but like I think just comparing them and know what you've been through there, like that did help me push through, like the physical pain barrier during the ultras. I think I've definitely found that link. I think the other way, I haven't really experienced it yet where I've need the hardships during the runs to help me, like in my personal life. I haven't when that might occur. I guess I'll see if that works or not. But I think definitely they have helped like with the running.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a case of you don't notice that you need the hardships from running in life because you've got it there, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
sometimes. Yeah, I guess sometimes it just comes like without you even like thinking of it. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like
Because it might be like, you might be having like what most people would consider like a bit of a bad day, but because you've done these ultras, you're like, oh, this is like,
yeah, no,
it's not that bad.
oh no, 100%, completely agree.
Yeah. It's something like I'm just fascinated by at the minute, and I'm really trying to understand in different people, like, how does this help? Like, do they balance each other? Is one like helping more than the other? And
Yeah.
I'm just fascinated by people, I guess.
Yeah, no, completely.
So going back to your challenge, we haven't actually like we've spoken about everything around the challenge,
Yeah.
but like let's go into the challenge a bit. Like, what was each day like? Like, did you have any like really hard moments where you wanted to quit? Like things like that.
So obviously I was just I was buzzing for it to start really because I've done so much training. You're like, it's just time to get going. Day one, I'd actually previously done in January, so I knew what to expect route wise, distance wise, how I'd probably feel. Day one, don't really remember. Day one was sort of a breeze really. We had Nathan join us on day one. He was doing 100k in July as well, coming up. So shout out to him. He joined us for the last 30k of day one, which really helped. Like a fresh face always helps, obviously with Chris anyway. But day one was from Chelmsford to Liverpool Street area in London. So that was 57k, which still sounds mental in my head. But like I really enjoyed day one. Like it was really hot, but loved day one. And then my brother and dad came up on the night of day one, so saw them. And then day two, we were going from Liverpool Street to Maidenhead. So that was the first time of the challenge where it's waking up and going again. So obviously a few aches and pains. And then we got going. Day two was completely fine for up until about the 45k or around the marathon mark around Windsor area. Then it got a bit tired. The kilometres were slowly ticking along. And then we got to Maidenhead at about 59k. So then I had dad and brother with me that night as well. And day three, it's freezing. I started to wear a thermal at the start of day three, which is a bit annoying. It's a bit cold. but that was going from Maidenhead to Newbury, and the first kilometre was just like a massive hill. I was like, oh, you know what, go back to bed. But as well as that, that was the first day where I changed trainers as well, because I was starting to feel a few blisters on the feet, so I thought I'd change it, and that really helped. Then we got to Reading, I hit like that was only like the half marathon mark, but hit a massive wall just after I met my granddad actually. And then, but the part from like 20k to 50k was such a lovely route along the river, along the loch. But just, didn't have a lot of water during that period, so that was really challenging. But no option but to get through it. You've got to push through. I think just trying to maximise every rest stop we could have, with like fluids and everything you can have there, and then we got to Newbury. My mate Charlie helped massively as well, so he joined us along the loch for the end bit for last like 10k, and we got to Newbury at about I think this was actually the shortest day. I think it was 54k. I think I'm trying to remember the distances. And then Mum joined that night, so that was nice to see a fresh face as well, because I guess she's, as we touched on right at the start, she's done these like big cycling stuff. I guess she knows how I'm feeling and what I need there as well. So that really helped. And then we moved on to day 4, so that's from Newbury to Devizes. So that's when Aston, my cousin, joined. Which was, I suppose, really helped, because I see when you're just chatting to someone like a fresh face, when you're chatting to someone, you can sort of take each other's mind off it, and like the views on day 4 were lovely, just going for like little villages, little towns, and then Chris was still obviously unfortunate to drop out around the 30k mark on day 4. Me and Aston kept pushing in, and the last 10k on day 4 was horrible. Was probably the hardest bit of the whole challenge, just because the hill was relentless, and it was just so open to the sun. So yeah, it was just. But that's just, like, I think I look back at it now, and that's another thing that helped me. Like, you have to go through those tough moments to know like what you're made of. I think day 5, there's just no getting away. It was horrific, because that was my longest run ever. Like, that was 66k day 5. It was like 41 miles. Which was horrendous. I mean, I think we started at 8 and we were done by 6, so it was a long day out in like the boiling hot sun. I think we got to get into the half marathon mark, and then knowing I've got more than the marathon to go, like, was a lot to like process, because I started day 5. I knew not knew what to expect, but I knew it was gonna be the hardest day. But I sort of flew out day 5, going quite quick actually, feeling really good. And then I had a rest stop, and I knew the hills were coming. For a while, couldn't get out of that mindset. And then it was about 20k of just slog. And then got to around the 35k mark, and was on the phone to a few of my friends. That really helped, just hearing like, hearing their voices, just saying like, you can do this, you can do that. In my head I'm like, I can't. But like, really helped, like hearing like a fresh voice. And then I think each step as well, knowing I was getting close, like running over the M4 and seeing signs to Wales as well. Knowing like, okay, I'm actually starting to see a bit of like progress. I can see almost where the finish is. And then last 20k day 5 was hard, because the route as well, A roads, like cars whizzing past. And then after the rest stop of 50k, just getting the legs going again was hard. But like, you do get the body, you do get it done, like you do get there. And then knowing, got to about 60k, and then I could see Severn Bridge. Oh no, just the other side of that is Wales. I was like, okay, oh my god, I've got all this way from Essex. Like, okay, I've done that. And then we finished day 5, and I knew in my head it was done. Like, I knew, however tomorrow will look, I know it's done. And then day 5, my mates Luke and Kean were saw me for an hour, which is brilliant. And they were like, oh, he looks broken. I was like, they were like, I don't know how he ran the next day, but like, I was sort of waddling along like a penguin. My legs like, and then brilliant to see them. And day 6, as we've touched on, just felt brilliant. Obviously, towards the end of day 6, I think it must have been maybe my IT band. I don't know. Obviously, you helped take me up, but that was. I mean, that didn't really stop us. Didn't really stop us in the end. Got to like the last kilometre, and I think the last kilometre was probably the quickest kilometre of the whole thing, which I probably anticipated might happen.
Yeah.
Because I knew everyone was going to be at the finish, and I think there's so much road. It's only roads. It's only miles I've forgotten from that 6-day stretch that I actually ran. It's just ridiculous. I can pinpoint moments that I've touched on there, but there's so much I've actually forgotten from that week. It's unbelievable.
It's just like you've jam-packed like literally months of running for most people into a week.
Yeah.
Like, if I ask people like, oh, describe like your month's worth of running, like you said, like they'll be able to pinpoint bits, but you wouldn't be able to describe like every detail of every run.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's just what it is, just like the sheer information overload that you had.
Oh, 100. That's just like, and I knew beforehand it was gonna be about 330 to 350k, and I knew that's probably what I averaged monthly. So I'm doing like, basically doing 30 days worth into 6 days. I didn't know what to expect, because I was like, so much can go wrong. I was like, I'm never gonna quit. But if you get an injury, it's bad enough you can't continue. It's like, I'd be so annoyed and gutted, but there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So I was very conscious of that. Like, I was very nervous, because prior to coming in January, I got like shin splints. I'd never had them before. I know, really bad. I was really worried about them, but they did go by about March time. But I was really worried it might come back, or my knee might go like it did in September. So I was really worried and conscious about that. But just got through it. Like, no real scares apart from the last 10k where saw my knee and my leg went. But apart from that, yeah.
Yeah, I was worried because like I just remember we was running, and it looked like you tripped on something.
Yeah.
But like you didn't. Your knee just went, and you was just like, oh, and I was like, you're right. He was like, oh, just yeah, fine, and like you just ran it off a bit, and then you was like, oh no, like my knee really hurts,
Yeah.
and I was like, shit, like what do we do? Like we're so close to finishing, and then that's when we got back to the car, and I was like, oh, like let's get some tape, like let's put this like get it as secure as we can. Like you had your like leg sleeve things and your knee sleeves, and then like taping as well.
That's the thing, 'cause it's like, what if that happened in the first 5k of the last day? Like, I guess I am very lucky, because also it's what ifs, but like, yeah, like what if that happened on day 3? Like, I might have seen that mentally different. I might be like, okay, I can't go any further, because it was the last 8k or so, day 6, like the last day, I knew I wasn't too bothered.
Yeah.
Wasn't too like worried about it. But like, it's completely fine. Like, after the next few days, it was completely fine. Like, went for my first run back about 10, 12 days after finishing. It felt really good. So it was only a 5k, but like, yeah, it felt really good.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, no, fair play. Like, quite a journey. Was there any moment where you thought you might not finish?
No, there's never. There's moments every day, I'd be like, I don't know how you feel sometimes, but every day I'd be like, I can't see myself finishing. Not because I'm tired, but because like, distance wise, it's so far away. So I get to a point every day where I'll be like, it might be like 5k left. I know I've got it done. Like, I can see the finish for each day. But day 5, I've touched on to friends and people as well. Like, day 5 was the hardest. I feel like people don't know how hard it was until you're actually in the moment. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
It's rough. Like, it was rough. There's no getting away from it. But like, there's never any real moment where I was like, I can't actually do this. So I always thought in my head, unless I'm injured and I can't possibly physically continue, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
Regardless.
No, like, yeah, just from like meeting you on that day and like the chats we've had and everything, like, I didn't have, obviously, like, I was quite far like into your journey. You was on the last day, but like I didn't look at you and be like, oh, he's not able to finish this, I was like, straight away, I was like, oh wow, like it's done. Like,
I think just like when you're talking to someone as well, like you can talk. We're probably talking about things that are away from running as well.
Yeah.
Which just helps, doesn't it? I know. Sometimes you can like take your mind off the fact you're actually running.
Yeah.
So that honestly really helped.
No, it was a wicked day. I was really glad to get to be a part of that. So thank you for letting me run with you.
Oh no, I'm really glad you came. Honestly.
I always find it funny because like when I was telling people like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go run with this guy, they're like, oh, how do you know him? I was like, I know, like this is gonna be my first time meeting him. Yeah. They're like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go run an ultra with someone I've never met.
Just a casual way to meet someone, isn't it? Really? It's a normal way.
But yeah, like I've been supporting loads of events now with people that like I barely know and like come out and we're like best mates by the end of it. So,
it's brilliant, isn't it? It's like you meet, especially if like you meet the same people through run, don't you? Whether it's like run clubs or just running with new people, like it's such a great way to like meet people and start chatting to people. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. All right, I think we'll wrap it up there. We've touched on the documentary, so where can people go to watch the documentary?
Yes, on YouTube, go to it's under Harry Squires, the channel. It's called the Long Run. So it'd be amazing if you can go to the link in the bio. That'd be brilliant if you can give it a watch and maybe just leave a comment saying your thoughts on it, or just leave a like, and hopefully just subscribe, because there's hopefully gonna be some more things to come into the year. So
cool.
That's how you can find it. Yeah.
And then where else can people go to like find you and follow your sort of antics?
I put if I'm going to announce anything or any running stuff, it's probably on Instagram, to be honest, and obviously put all my runs on Strava. So yeah, hopefully you can leave those stuff in the links as well.
Yeah.
So they're probably the two main places where anything that's coming up you'll see about.
And are they both just Harry Squires?
Yeah, just
cool.
Yeah, I think Instagram. Yeah, basically Harry Squires. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll link them in the description anyway. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you very much for the invite. Amazing.
We'll catch up again soon.
Yes, 100%.
What an episode that was. It was great to catch up with Harry 3 weeks after his challenge and seeing him back in Cardiff, where we finished running together. It was a phenomenal challenge and it was a great experience getting to go out and support him on one of these challenges. Like I said, we're both fundraising for Sport in Mind. So if you want to find out more about Harry and the documentary that we talked about, check the description below, where I'll link the documentary made by Chris Searle. Great work, by the way, Chris. And then if you want to donate to the fundraiser, I'll leave my fundraising link in the description below as well. Thanks again, and until next time.